Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. LG have just launched their new flagship true wireless noise cancelling earbuds, the Tone Free T90. And since I was quite pleasantly surprised by how well their previous flagship the FP9 performed last year, I'm excited to see that LG has now expanded this lineup and came out with an even more feature-packed set of premium earbuds. And just to give you a quick overview of what's new inside the T90, now we have Dolby Atmos, Head Tracking, Adaptive ANC, Qualcomm Snapdragon, Bluetooth 5.3, aptX adaptive, multipoint, larger graphene drivers, and an upgraded UVnano feature. As you can see, there is a lot to cover, so let's see the details. So we get a plethora of new features, but the T90 buds come in a plastic body which is very similar to that of the FP9. There are some minor cosmetic changes, and it feels like the new buds got just a touch bigger too, but LG stuck to the ergonomic short stem design, and the build quality is also on the same high level as before. And since I found the FP9 to be extremely comfortable in day-to-day use, I'm really happy to see that nothing changed on that front. The T90 buds sit in my ears nicely, the tips are not too deep inside my ear canals, there are no hot spots, and there is no pressure build-up over time in my experience. The T90 weighs in at around 5.3 grams each, and we get 3 sets of medical-grade silicone ear tips in the box, which can help reducing potential skin irritation. So in short, comfort is first class. The fit is just snug enough for some slow-paced jogging, for example, and there is the IPX4 sweat and rainproof rating as well, which can make the buds suitable for casual everyday activities. But if you want something more workout-friendly with a much tighter fit, LG have also launched a set of IP67 rated waterproof sport earbuds, the Tone Free TF8. There is a link in the description if you are interested in my review of those buds. But back to the T90 and its design, the earbuds come in a very similar battery case as before. Same circular design, same great build quality with the same spring lid, which does not flop around when fully open. Maybe the new lid has a bit more play on my sample, but that's still okay. And what's more important is that the case have 3 great features, 2 of which are kind of unique. First, there is the upgraded UVnano. Now, this is a technology which can reduce bacteria by up to 99.9% after 10 minutes of use. The UV light is invisible to the human eye, and it only gets activated when the lid is closed, so that blue LED you can see is only there for show. It has nothing to do with the actual UV light, which comes from that little square thingy next to the blue LED. So the UV light used here have this specific wavelength, which gives it certain properties that can kill some bacteria according to studies and research. And LG made 2 upgrades to their UVnano feature compared to the previous generation. First, now you can use it without the case being on a charger, as long as your battery is above 40%. Second, the UV light now can reach not only the speaker mesh, but also the silicone ear gels, so it can sanitize a larger area than before. And that has great health benefits, but I would suggest to keep your ear gels and earbuds clean at all times, as even this advanced technology cannot replace proper, regular cleaning in the long run. On to unique feature number 2, there is the plug-and wireless Bluetooth transmitter built into the case. I will tell you what it does when I talk about connection in just a minute. And while the third feature of the case, the Qi wireless charging support, is not unique by any means, it can be quite a handy one for sure. And that takes us to the battery life of the T90. We are supposed to get 9 hours of playtime with the buds on a single charge and 29 hours of use in total according to the manufacturer's data. And I did a few tests with both the AAC codec on iOS and the aptX adaptive codec on Android. I tested both with ANC turned on and with noise cancellation disabled. And with the AAC codec and the ANC turned off, I got 8 hours and 32 minutes. That's as close to the 9 hours as I could get. The worst case scenario was using aptX on Android with ANC turned on, as in this case the batteries died after only 4 hours and 35 minutes. These are not bad results at all. In fact, they perform as good if not better than some of their direct competitors in similar scenarios. And in case we run out of juice, we can quick charge the buds in 5 minutes to get 1 hour of extra use out of them. And even though the battery life itself has not increased compared to the FP9 according to my own tests, we get the new wireless charging feature, which is missing from the older model, and that's without a doubt an improvement in my eyes. And talking about improvements, one of the novelties on board of the Tone Free T90 is the Qualcomm Snapdragon chip with Bluetooth version 5.3 and support for audio codecs such as AAC, SBC and aptX adaptive. Even though neither of my phones or laptops support this most up-to-date version of Bluetooth, I had no connection issues, no signal dropouts, and I found pairing the earbuds quick and easy with both Android and iOS devices. There is no sound delay when watching videos on YouTube or Netflix, and if you are a serious gamer, there is a game mode for you which can bring down latency to an acceptable level with games. Each earbud can be used on its own as mono mode is supported. A handy and new feature of the T90 is multipoint support, which allows the earbuds to be actively connected to two source devices at the same time with automatic switching between the two. The good news is that multipoint works in single bud mode, and also the aptX adaptive codec remains active on compatible devices even in multipoint mode without compromising the connection stability. But the engineers did not stop there and added multi-pairing to the T90 as well, which means that using the LG smartphone app, you can switch between up to 5 previously connected devices manually, including the battery case itself. And that takes us to the next wireless feature, the plug-and wireless. Since the case has its own Bluetooth chip inside, you can use it as a wireless transmitter. It means that using the supplied USB Type-C to audio jack cable, you can plug the case into any auxiliary output on an airplane, on a treadmill, or on any device with a headphone jack, and the case will transmit the audio signals wirelessly to your earbuds. Or as another option, you can use the USB-A to USB-C cable with any device that has a USB port such as a laptop, and doing so you are able to bypass the built-in chip and basically use the case of the T90 as an external sound card, while essentially upgrading the Bluetooth connection of your old device to version 5.3. How cool is that? And now you can also use the mic on your earbuds with your laptop in this case, which is a feature that wasn't available with the plug-and wireless tech before. And frankly, with all these wireless features such as the new Snapdragon chip, aptX adaptive, multi-point, plug-and wireless, multi-pairing on board, I cannot really think of any other earbuds regardless of price that would be as advanced or versatile as the LG Tone Free T90 when it comes to wireless connection. And thanks to the 3 microphones and the voice pickup unit that are built into each bud, the T90Q can deliver natural sounding and clear voices during a phone call in a quiet room. And thanks to the great noise cancelling algorithms, my voice remains easy to understand even when there is loud noise coming from the speakers in front of me. However, as you can hear, it might take a couple of seconds for the noise cancelling to ramp up to 100%. And as an extra feature, you can whisper into the mic on the right earbud when you are in a busy environment, such as a coffee shop, and the mics can still pick up your voice easily, so you don't have to overpower the surrounding noises by shouting into the buds during a phone call.
And last is an outdoor test, so you know what to expect from the LG T90Q when making a phone call outside with some traffic noise and wind thrown into the mix.
And onto the touch controls, they work exceptionally well with prompt reaction times, a high level of accuracy, full functionality, and extensive remapping options in the LG app. But that's not really a surprise, as the FP9 won my Best Touch Controls award in 2021, and those buds were basically the same in this regard. You have to touch that little dot near the top of each stem to control play, pause, tracks, volume, to activate your voice assistant, to answer or reject phone calls, and you can also toggle through the 3 different ambient modes. And with the exception of the touch and hold action, which is reserved for switching between the different ambient modes, you can completely remap the functionality of the touch panels inside the LG Tone Free app. But while you cannot change the function of the long press action, what you can change is the combination of the different ambient modes you want to cycle through when using the touchpads on the buds. So the controls are great, and so is LG's smartphone app, which offers you a comprehensive list of features and settings. Here is where you can choose one of the Meridian DSP modes, or rather HSP modes, as they like to call it now. But besides these Meridian EQ presets, you can also set up your own custom sound profiles. You can also enable the head tracking feature, which will make the sound come from the direction of your source device at all times, even if you turn your head away from the screen. I'm not a big fan of this feature personally, and I never really liked it on the AirPods Pro either, as it's only interesting for like 5 minutes when watching videos and it's downright distracting when listening to music. Well, for me it is anyway. But Dolby Atmos, on the other hand, might be more than just a gimmick. The virtual space it can create with movies is different than listening to normal stereo, as it can give you a larger sense of space and a more three-dimensional sound. I know it's just a matter of personal taste, but for music I would still stick to one of those Meridian presets, but movies in general can be really enjoyable using this feature. And keep in mind that whatever your preferences are, you will not only have to enable Dolby Atmos on your compatible source device, but you will also need a streaming service such as Apple Music or a top-tier Netflix subscription, for example, which can actually feed your earbuds with content in the Dolby Atmos format. But moving on with the rest of the settings in the app, you can not only customize the touch controls, but you can also disable them altogether using the touchpad lock switch. You can check the fit of your earbuds to see if you use the right set of ear tips and whether the earbuds sit in your ears correctly, providing you with a sufficient amount of passive isolation. You get the option to enable autoplay pause by activating the smart sensors, which will make the buds pause media playback automatically whenever you take them out of your ears. You can play around with multipoint and multi-pairing, you can turn on game mode or enable the UVnano feature to work every time when you put the buds back inside the case. So that's a lot you can do with the LG Tone Free app, and I don't even think I touched upon every single available feature. One more practical option is that you can customize the layout of the app manually by dragging and dropping the different menu items, or let the app do the sorting intelligently for you based on how often you use each feature. And all that together makes the LG Tone Free app one of my favorite smartphone apps when it comes to both features and day-to-day use. But it's not all perfect. Let's see the active noise cancellation and its settings, for example. The ANC is now adaptive, which means that the strength of the noise cancelling is out of your control and an algorithm will adjust it depending on the level of the surrounding noises. We used to have a high and a low setting with the FP9, and some other earbuds and apps on the market can offer you all sorts of manual settings and fine-tuning options. But with the T90, all we get is ANC on, ANC off, and ambient mode. And that's enough for the most part, but let's say a wind noise reduction mode would be a nice option to have, as the wind noise performance of the T90 is not class-leading to say the least. We get some harsh whistling noises, especially in either of the two ambient modes. However, in terms of ANC performance, I can say that the T90 can more or less keep up with the likes of the One More Evo or the Soundcore Liberty 3 Pro as far as lower frequency hums and rumbles are concerned, but not so much when it comes to blocking out higher pitch noises. And we cannot quite expect Sony XM4 or Technics AZ60 level of general ANC performance, as the T90 cannot get close enough to the leaders in its class. The ambient mode is better though, or should I say ambient modes in plural, as we get two options here. Listening mode allows you to hear all of your surroundings, and it sounds quite balanced and natural without too much of a hissing noise. Conversation mode lets through more of those higher frequencies, so we can hear human voices better. And that works pretty well indeed. But in general, the ANC can only deliver a second tier-like performance in the premium category, but I could detect some improvements when compared to the FP9, especially at the lower end of the frequency range, and that's definitely good news. And as far as the sound of the T90, we got some upgrades as well. First, there are the graphene drivers, which are now 11mm in diameter compared to the 8mm drivers you can find inside the FP9, and that's actually an 89% increase in total size, which is a lot. And let's not forget about the new Snapdragon chip with the aptX adaptive codec, which allows us to use higher bit rates, which can potentially improve sound quality on its own. But honestly, without EQing, the earbuds sound a bit flat and boring out of the box. However, we get 5 Meridian audio presets / HSP modes, 2 custom sound profiles, and Dolby Atmos, so everyone can find the sound signature that suits their personal taste the best. I was the most satisfied with the natural meridian setting. It still sounds a bit processed to me, but this mode was the closest I could get to a balanced and natural sound. But given the name of this preset, maybe that's not a surprise. And with the exception of some house, trance or EDM songs, this is actually the DSP mode I used the most. But the immersive mode proved to be an interesting option for some of those electronic musical genres, as it gave me an expanded soundstage, and in this case I didn't mind the changes in timbre or imaging, which can be distracting with acoustic or instrumental music. The bass boost preset is kind of redundant in my opinion, as I already got a thunderous and powerful low end without the need for further enhancing it. Treble boost can bring out more detail in vocals and the higher octaves of music, but it's messing with the imaging again a little. And the 3D soundstage is, well, how to put it mildly, it sounds like you are listening to music in a giant fishbowl, so unless you are an audiophile fish, I would avoid using it. So I stuck to the natural meridian setting for the most part and used the immersive and treble boost modes here and there just to spice things up. And the sound of the LG T90 was punchy, detailed and mostly balanced. I say mostly because it leans toward a warmer sound signature with its boosted bass and not overly forward mids. We get plenty detail in the treble, but it's a bit rolled off with no sharp edges, and we got a not too overexcited top end as a result. Well, in natural mode that is. The soundstage in this case is not quite as wide or expansive as it is on the One More Evo or on the Sennheiser Momentum 3, but again there are those different Meridian EQ presets for you, which can completely change how the earbuds sound. Plus there are the two custom sound profiles as well. And that's the real strength of the T90. Even though we only get a decent enough default sound, with all the different settings and options, we can enhance that sound and tailor it to our mood, to our general musical taste, or to a specific genre, song, or even a movie for that matter. I'm more of a purist myself, so I would prefer to have an excellent, open and vibrant sound out of the box, which kind of suits everything without EQing too much, but I can also see the benefits of having such a wide range of options when it comes to playing around with the sound signature of your earbuds. And thanks to the comprehensive list of settings, unique features and different custom options, the LG Tone Free T90 can easily become a force to be reckoned with on the premium true wireless earbuds market. Some manual ANC settings and maybe a touch stronger noise cancelling performance would have been great, but other than that, the fit, the battery life and the build quality are all competitive and up there with the best in class. And there are the touch controls, the UVnano, the plug-and wireless, the Dolby Atmos support, the aptX adaptive codec, the app with all of its features and the exceptional comfort of the buds, all of which together can make the LG Tone Free T90 a top choice, even for $230 or £200, which is the asking price of the T90 at its launch. And that might sound a bit too steep at first, especially considering how much lower of a price tag the FP9 used to have when it came out, but given all the added features and new technologies which are practically crammed inside the same body, I believe that the extra cost is easily justified. And that was my review of the LG Tone Free T90. And I got to tell you that I received free samples from LG for this test, but no money exchanged hands, and I only shared my honest opinion based on my own personal experience with the product. That said, I hope you like this video, so please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, because that way you might be able to help the channel financially in the long run. And if you are more of the sporty type, I suggest you watch my LG Tone Free TF8 review as well. Link up here and also in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.